Hey, welcome back to the Natural English podcast. I am Alex, and I am here with Sarah. Thanks for listening today.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Alex. It is really good to be here with you again.
So, before we start, let me ask you something. How is your day going? Have you already had one of those little problems today? Maybe you missed the bus by 10 seconds, or you spilled coffee on your shirt, or your phone battery was almost empty right when you needed it. Just think for a moment. What was one tiny problem you had today?
Yeah, and you know, those small things can really change the mood of your day. They're not a disaster, but they are annoying. And they are actually perfect for English practice.
Exactly. In this episode, we are going to talk about small everyday problems and quick, simple solutions. And we will do it in natural, everyday English. The kind of English you really use with friends or colleagues. So if your level is around B2, this is for you.
And do not worry, you do not need super complex grammar for this. You just need the right little phrases, the kind of things people actually say when something goes wrong.
Yeah, and I want to give you a small listening challenge right from the start. In our first story today, I will use the phrase, "No worries, I have got it." Let me say that again. No worries, I have got it. This phrase means, it is okay, do not stress, I will handle it. For example, your friend drops their papers on the floor, and they look embarrassed. You bend down to help and you say, "No worries, I have got it." So, when you hear this phrase in the story, try to notice the situation. What is the problem, and how is it solved?
Nice. I like that. It really helps you focus your ears on something clear. One small phrase inside a real story.
And we will also use the expression, little meltdown, once today. A little meltdown is when you feel very stressed for a short time about lots of small things. For example, 3 things go wrong in the morning and you just want to cry or shout for a minute. That is a little meltdown.
Yeah, I think many people know that feeling. Even native speakers have these little meltdowns. We are not calm all the time. We have bad mornings too.
So today, first, we will listen to a few short stories about real everyday problems. Then, we will slow down, look at some useful words and phrases. And finally, we will help you talk about your own small problems and your own quick fixes. By the way, quick fix is another nice phrase. It means a fast, simple solution, like putting a sticky note on your door so you do not forget your keys. That is a quick fix.
Yeah. Quick fixes can really save your day, and they are fun to talk about too.
So Sarah, let me ask you, what is one small problem that already happened to you this week?
Only one? Okay, let me think. Yeah. On Monday, I was already a bit late for a meeting. I rushed out of the house, I got to the bus stop, and then I suddenly realized my phone was still at home. No phone, no messages, no map, nothing. For a second, I felt that little meltdown feeling like, oh no, this whole day is going to be terrible.
Oh, wow. I hate that feeling. So what did you do? Just a very short version for now.
Sure. I took a deep breath. I told myself, okay, calm down, and I decided on a quick fix. I went back home, grabbed my phone, then I sent a short message to my colleague, just to say I might be 5 minutes late. So, in the end, it was not a disaster, just a little problem with a simple solution.
Right. And that is exactly the kind of story we are going to explore more deeply in this episode. Real life, small problems, clear, natural English.
And we want you to feel, okay, I can talk about my day like this too. You do not need perfect grammar. You just need to be able to describe the situation and how you solved it.
So, as we move into the first full story, remember your listening challenge. Listen for the phrase, "No worries, I have got it." When you hear it, pay attention to what the problem is and how the person fixes it. All right, let us start with a few little problem stories from real life. Sarah, can you tell us the first story? So, in this part, let's just listen to a few little stories. Everyday problems, nothing serious, just things that go wrong in a normal day.
Yeah, the kind of problems where you sigh, you roll your eyes, and you think, okay, how do I fix this fast?
Exactly. And remember our little listening challenge from before? That short reply, something like, "No worries, I have it under control." Keep your ears open for that kind of phrase again.
Okay, so story number 1. This happened last week. I had a very early meeting and my alarm did not go off.
Oh no, so you overslept?
Yes, totally. I woke up, I looked at the time, and I thought, oh no, I am running late. I was already 30 minutes behind.
So you were still at home, and the meeting was coming soon. What did you do?
I did not have time for my usual bus, so I just grabbed a taxi instead. I literally got dressed in 5 minutes, ran outside, and jumped into a taxi.
Right. So the problem was, your alarm did not go off, you were running late, and the quick solution was, skip the bus and take a taxi.
Yes, that is it. One sentence. My alarm did not go off, so I grabbed a taxi and made it on time.
And just to highlight one expression there, when Sarah says, "I was running late," she means I did not have enough time, I was behind schedule, I was in a hurry.
Yeah, if you say I am running late, it means I should be there already or I should be on the way, but I am not.
Okay, that was story 1. Let's do another everyday problem. Maybe something before work again?
Sure, so picture this. I am finally on time one morning. I am dressed, I feel good, I make a coffee to go, and then I spill coffee all over my shirt.
All over your shirt? Like a big stain in the front?
Yes, a huge brown stain, right in the middle. So now I have this problem. I am still kind of in a hurry. I do not want to be late, but I also cannot go to work like that.
So what did you do? How did you fix it?
I did not panic. I just changed my shirt. I went back to my room, grabbed another top, quickly put it on, and left the dirty one in the sink with some water.
So, again, if we say it in 1 or 2 lines, you spilled coffee all over your shirt, and the quick solution was, you changed your shirt and left the house.
Exactly. Small problem, simple fix. Still annoying though.
And this little phrase, I spilled coffee all over my shirt. When we say all over, it means in many places, not just a tiny spot. It sounds bigger, more dramatic.
Yeah, you can use it for other things too. For example, the kids spilled juice all over the floor. Or, I got mud all over my shoes.
Nice. All right, let's move to a tech problem now. Something with your phone, maybe.
Okay, here is a classic one. I was out, walking around the city, using maps on my phone, listening to music, and of course, my phone died.
So the battery went to 0 and the phone just turned off, right when you needed it.
Yes, no map, no music, no messages, and I was not at home. I did not have my own charger with me.
That is a bit stressful. So, what did you do then?
I looked around and I saw a coffee shop. I went in, bought a drink, and I asked the barista, "Hey, my phone died. Can I borrow a charger for a little bit?"
Nice. So you borrowed a charger, charged it for a while, and then you were okay again.
Yes, and the barista was super kind. He just smiled and said, "No worries, I have got it." He went to the back, brought me a charger, and plugged it in for me.
Did you catch that phrase, by the way? No worries, I have got it. We often say something like that when we want to say, it is okay, I will handle it, I will help you.
Yeah, it is a very friendly reply. Someone asks for help and you say, no worries, I have got it. Or, no worries, I can help.
And just quickly, one more useful phrase from that story. When you say, my phone died, you mean the battery is empty. The phone turned off, it does not work right now.
Exactly. We do not usually say, my phone battery became 0. We just say, my phone died.
Okay, so we had 3 little stories there. Before we move on, Sarah, which everyday problem phrases did we use again and again?
So we had, my alarm did not go off. I was running late. I spilled coffee all over my shirt. My phone died. And also, I just grabbed a taxi. I changed my shirt, and I borrowed a charger.
Good. In the next part, let's slow down and look at some of those useful phrases more closely, so you can really use them when things go wrong in your day. So, in this part, let's slow down and zoom in on the language itself. All those little everyday problem phrases we used before. Things like, my alarm did not go off. I overslept. My phone died. I want us to really hear them and feel how natural English sounds, not robot English.
Yeah, this is my favorite part, because many learners know the idea, but they only know the very formal version. And then, in real life, it sounds a bit too serious or a bit strange. So, let's make it sound more human.
Okay, let's start with a classic morning problem. You're late for work or late for class. What is one really useful natural phrase?
A big one is, my alarm did not go off. My alarm did not go off. It means, my alarm did not make a sound. It did not ring. Maybe you forgot to set it or there was some problem with your phone. You can use it when you are explaining why you are late. For example, sorry I am late. My alarm did not go off this morning.
Right, because the robot version might be something like, my alarm failed to function this morning, which is correct English. But it sounds like you are writing a report for a machine company.
Exactly. We almost never say that in a normal, friendly conversation. So if you want to be natural, keep it simple. My alarm did not go off. Or, even shorter, my alarm did not ring. That is totally fine.
Okay, and then after that, maybe you wake up, you look at the time and you think, oh no. So another useful one is, I overslept, right?
Yeah, I overslept is great. It just means I slept longer than I planned. I stayed in bed too long. So you could say, I overslept and missed the bus. Or, I overslept, so I was late for my meeting.
If I want to sound like a textbook, I might say, I slept excessively this morning and therefore I was delayed, which, again, sounds like a science experiment.
Yeah, it sounds very cold, not like normal conversation. With these everyday problems, natural English is usually short and clear. I overslept. That is it. One word does the job.
Nice. Now, if you oversleep, the next problem is, you are late, right? So another really common phrase is, I was running late.
Yes, I was running late. This is a very useful one. It means I was not on schedule. I was behind time. Maybe just 5 or 10 minutes, not 1 hour. So you can say, sorry, I am running a bit late. I will be there in 10 minutes. That sounds friendly, and it is the way people really talk.
And compare that with something like, I deeply apologize for my delay. I will arrive shortly. That is very formal. Maybe okay in a very serious email, but not when you are texting a friend.
Right. For daily life, you can keep it light. Sorry, I am running a bit late. Or, hey, I am running late, stuck in traffic. Simple, natural, and still polite.
Okay, so that is the morning. Let's jump to another classic disaster. Coffee. What was that phrase you used? Something with coffee and a shirt.
Yeah, I said. I spilled coffee all over my shirt. So, to spill means the drink falls out of the cup by accident. All over means in many places, not just a tiny drop. For example, I was getting into the car and I spilled coffee all over my shirt.
If I try robot English, I might say, I accidentally distributed coffee on my clothing, which is kind of funny, but nobody would actually say that.
Yeah, it is funny, but not natural. In real life, we just say, I spilled coffee on my shirt, or I got coffee on my shirt. Those are the ones to remember.
All right, let's move to technology problems. My favorite. The phrase we used was, my phone died. Can we talk about that one?
Yes, my phone died. Means the battery became empty. It has no power now. People do not think your phone is dead forever. They understand you just need to charge it, so you can say, my phone died on the train, so I could not call you.
And sometimes you said, my phone died on me. What does that little on me do?
Good question. On me is a small emotional extra. It shows you feel a bit annoyed or unlucky. Like, it stopped working at a bad moment. So, my phone died on me right before the interview. It sounds a bit stronger than just, my phone died.
If I use very formal language, I might say, unfortunately, my mobile phone lost its power source, which is very long for such a small problem.
Yeah, and it sounds like you are reading from a manual. So if you want to sound like a real person, keep that short phrase in your mind. My phone died, or my battery died. Those are perfect for daily talk.
Another tech problem from earlier was, the Wi-Fi is down. Can you explain that one?
Sure. When we say, the Wi-Fi is down, we mean the internet connection is not working right now. Maybe the router has a problem, maybe the company is fixing something. It is temporary. For example, sorry, I cannot send the file. The Wi-Fi is down at my place.
So if I say, the wireless internet system in my residence is currently experiencing a malfunction, that is too much, right?
Yeah, that sounds almost like a joke. In normal speech, we just say, the Wi-Fi is down, or the internet is down. Short, simple, very common.
Okay, now let's switch to solution phrases. Things we do to fix the problem. One I liked from before was, I just grabbed a taxi. Can we look at that?
Yeah, I just grabbed a taxi. Means, I quickly took a taxi. Grab here is informal. It gives a feeling of fast and easy. So you might say, I was running late, so I just grabbed a taxi.
And the robot version would be something like, I wish to acquire a taxi immediately, which sounds like you are speaking to a robot taxi company.
Exactly. We do not really talk like that. In conversation, grab a taxi is friendly and natural. You could also say, I took a taxi, but grabbed a taxi gives that quick feeling.
Another useful solution phrase you used was, I borrowed a charger. That one is simple but very real life.
Yes, borrow means you take something from someone for a short time and then you give it back. So you can say, my phone died at work, so I borrowed a charger from my colleague. We do not need to say, I temporarily obtained a power cable. Just, I borrowed a charger.
Nice. And what about, I reset the router? That sounds a little more technical, but people use it all the time.
Yeah. To reset means you turn something off and then on again to make it work. The router is the little box that gives you internet at home, so you can say, the Wi-Fi was down, so I reset the router. This is a great real phrase when you talk about fixing internet problems.
I like that. And earlier, you also used the phrase, I ended up working from home. Can you explain ended up? Because that one is really common.
Sure. Ended up is a very useful little phrase. It means the final result was this, and it was not really planned. Maybe it was a bit of a surprise. So, the trains were delayed, and I ended up working from home. You did not plan to work from home, but that is what happened in the end.
So if I say, because of transportation issues, I was obliged to perform my duties remotely, that is the very formal version of, I ended up working from home.
Exactly. Your sentence is correct, but not natural for most everyday talk. If you start using ended up, you will sound much more relaxed and real. For example, it started raining, so we ended up staying in and watching a movie. Very common.
So, if we look at all of these, my alarm did not go off. I overslept. I was running late. I spilled coffee all over my shirt. My phone died. The Wi-Fi is down. I just grabbed a taxi. I borrowed a charger. I reset the router. I ended up working from home. The pattern is short, clear, and not too formal.
Yes, and that is the big point. Many B2 learners know the very serious, formal phrases, but in daily life, we usually choose these neutral, everyday ones instead. They are not rude. They are just natural.
Okay, now we have the key phrases. You understand what they mean and when to use them, but how can you actually talk about your own small problems and solutions?
Yeah, that is the next step. We want you to start building your own short, natural sentences. So in the next part, we will do some guided practice, and you can speak along with us.
So, get ready to talk in the next chapter. We will help you use these expressions to describe your real life in simple, natural English. Okay, so in this part, we're going to be a bit more interactive. Less talking from us, more practice for you.
Yeah, think of this as a small speaking workout, you and us together.
The idea is simple. We take a small problem. We turn it into a short, natural mini story. Problem, a bit of detail, and then the quick solution.
Right. And you can pause anytime. You can repeat. You can talk to yourself. That is completely fine.
Let's model it once, very clearly, so you can hear the structure. Problem, detail, fix.
Okay, Alex, give me a situation. Something small, something annoying.
All right. This morning, your alarm did not ring. You woke up late. You were almost late for work.
Okay, so I want to say it like a little story. First, the problem. Then a bit of detail with so or because. Then what I did to fix it.
Could you give one full example slowly?
Sure, listen to the rhythm. I might pause a bit. So, this morning my alarm did not go off, so I overslept. I was running late, so I just grabbed a taxi to work.
Nice. So the pattern there is problem, detail, quick solution. And this is exactly the language we used before. Now it is in one smooth story.
Yeah, and notice those little words, so. And so, they move the story forward. Problem, so, result, so, solution.
All right, your turn, listening. I will say the situation, then I will ask you a question. After the question, there will be a short pause. In that pause, try to answer out loud. Even if you do not feel ready, just try.
And if you need more time, just pause the podcast. Take 10-20 seconds. Then press play again to hear my version.
Okay, first situation. You spilled coffee on your shirt before a meeting. You did not have time to go home. Here is the question. What did you do?
All right, this is your speaking moment. Think of problem, detail, fix. Get ready.
So, you spilled coffee on your shirt before a meeting. You could not go home. What did you do?
Pause now if you want more time and say your answer out loud.
Okay, let's hear some model answers.
One natural answer could be, I spilled coffee all over my shirt, so I quickly changed into a spare shirt I keep at the office. Or, I spilled coffee on my shirt, so I just cleaned it as much as I could and wore a jacket over it.
I like that second one. It sounds very real. You did not fix it perfectly, but you fixed it enough.
Yeah, and that is important. Your solution does not have to be amazing. Just say what you actually did or what you would probably do.
All right, next small problem. This one happens to me a lot. Your phone battery is almost dead while you are out. Maybe 5%, maybe 2%. You still need your phone. What did you do?
Before we practice, I want to give you one useful expression here. The phrase end up. End up means finally do something, often not what you first planned.
Could you give a quick example with end up, just in normal conversation?
Sure, for example, I wanted to walk home, but it started raining, so I ended up taking the bus.
Nice. Okay, so listen again to the situation. Your phone battery is dying while you are out. You still need your phone. What did you do?
Get ready to speak. Remember, problem, little detail, solution. Use so or because or maybe end up.
So, your phone battery was almost dead while you were out, and you still needed your phone. What did you do?
Pause now and say your version. Even if it is short, say it out loud.
All right, here are a couple of possible answers.
You could say, my phone battery was almost dead, so I turned off all the apps and ended up using it only for maps. Or, my phone was about to die, so I found a cafe and managed to borrow a charger.
That verb managed to, that is nice. It shows it was a little difficult, but you were successful in the end.
Exactly. Managed to means, it was not super easy, but I did it. For example, I was really tired, but I managed to finish my report on time.
Okay, next everyday problem. You lost your keys for a while. Maybe at home, maybe in your bag. You could not find them and you needed to leave. What did you do?
And before you answer, let's also use the phrase had to. We used it in the last chapter, but let's hear it again. Had to is like needed to, but it is stronger. It feels like no choice.
So if I ask, what is the difference between I had to call my roommate and I needed to call my roommate, what would you say?
In everyday speech, they are very close. But I had to call my roommate sounds like I really did not have another option. I needed to can sound a bit softer, more like it was important. But maybe there were other ways.
Nice. Okay, listener, your turn again. You could not find your keys and you needed to leave. What did you do?
Think of one or two actions. Did you call someone? Did you use a spare key? Did you wait?
So, you lost your keys for a while and you had to leave. What did you do?
Pause here and say your answer. Try to use so or because or had to.
Okay, let's build a couple of natural stories.
You might say, I could not find my keys anywhere, so I had to call my roommate and ask if they had a spare. Or, I lost my keys in the morning, so I ended up taking my partner's keys and texted them an apology.
Notice again, it is simple. Problem. I could not find my keys. Detail. Anywhere in the morning. Solution. So I had to call my roommate. So I ended up taking my partner's keys.
And it is okay if your version was different. Maybe you said something like, I was late, so I just left the door unlocked. That is also a real human solution.
All right, let's do one more together. This time, the internet. Your Wi-Fi stopped working during an online meeting. You still needed to finish the call. What did you do?
I think many people know this pain. So again, picture it in your mind. You are in the meeting and suddenly freeze.
So, your Wi-Fi went down in the middle of an online meeting, but you still needed to continue. What did you do?
Pause now and try at least one sentence. 2 sentences is even better.
Okay, let's give you some model answers you can repeat or adapt.
You could say, my Wi-Fi suddenly went down during the meeting, so I quickly turned on my mobile hotspot and managed to rejoin. Or, the Wi-Fi cut out, so I ended up calling in from my phone instead.
If you like one of those, you can go back, replay it, and shadow it. Just copy the sound, the pauses, the so, the ended up, the managed to.
And remember, if your own answers were not perfect, that is fine. The important thing is, you tried to say something. You built the little story.
So in this chapter, we practiced with typical shared situations. Things that happen to almost everyone. Late alarms, coffee, batteries, keys, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and these are great for practice. But the next step is making it more about you, your real life, your real small problems.
Exactly. So in the next part, I want to ask you, Sarah, how can learners talk about their own real small problems and quick fixes in English? Maybe with some personal examples.
Yeah, let's do that. In the next chapter, we are going to share some of our own funny, maybe slightly embarrassing, fail stories, and we will invite you to think of yours too.
So, a lot of these everyday problems, they are actually kind of funny later, right? In the moment, we are stressed or angry or just tired. But 1 week later, 1 month later, they become stories, little fail stories.
Yeah, exactly. And those small fail stories are really nice for conversation. They show we are human. We are not perfect. And for you, as an English learner, they are great practice.
So in this part, we want to personalize everything. We want to make it about real life, your real life. I'm going to ask Sarah to share a real, or at least very realistic, awkward everyday problem from her life.
Okay, yeah, I have one. It is a small thing, but I still remember it. And I still feel a little embarrassed when I think about it.
Nice. Embarrassed stories are perfect. So tell us, what happened?
All right. So, this was during the pandemic. I had an important online meeting with a new client. I really wanted to make a good first impression. I prepared everything. My notes, my slides. I even checked my hair in the camera.
Okay, so you were ready. Everything was organized. Everything was under control.
That is what I thought, but then, about 10 minutes before the meeting, my Wi-Fi just died. Completely. No internet at all.
Oh no, classic. That horrible moment when the internet disappears.
Yeah, and I panicked. I was watching the time and I was thinking, okay, I cannot just disappear. They will think I am not professional. I was really stressed. My heart was beating very fast. So I grabbed my phone, but of course, the battery was almost empty.
So you had 2 problems at the same time, no Wi-Fi, and your phone was dying.
Exactly. It was like a little disaster. And here is the embarrassing part. I decided to use my phone as a hotspot, to share mobile data with my laptop, but I was so nervous. I mixed up the time of the meeting. I thought it started 30 minutes later. So I was slowly trying to fix the Wi-Fi, calmly drinking my coffee, and then I got an email from the client.
Oh no, let me guess. Something like, "Are you joining the meeting?"
Yes, exactly. Very polite, but very clear. They were already in the online room waiting for me, and I just felt, you know that hot feeling in your face? I felt so embarrassed and annoyed with myself at the same time.
Yeah, that feeling when your cheeks get hot and you think, oh no, what have I done?
Right. So I wrote back immediately. I said, I'm so sorry. I am having internet problems. I will join in 2 minutes. Then I turned on the hotspot, plugged in my phone so it would not die, and I joined the meeting as fast as I could.
And how did you feel in that first minute after you joined?
Honestly, at first I felt very self-conscious. That means I was very aware of myself, very aware that I was late, and I imagined they were judging me. So I spoke too fast. I tried to be perfect, to fix it, to balance it.
Yeah, to kind of make up for being late.
Exactly. But then the client said, do not worry, our Wi-Fi is terrible too. And we all laughed. That really broke the ice. By the way, to break the ice just means to make things feel more relaxed and friendly at the beginning of a conversation or meeting. For example, a small joke can break the ice.
Nice. So what was the quick solution in the end? How did you actually deal with the problem?
So the quick solution was simple. I used my phone as a hotspot, I stayed close to a charger, and I told them honestly, sorry, my Wi-Fi just stopped. I did not give a long story. I just explained it in one short sentence and moved on. After that, the meeting was totally normal.
So if we use our structure from the last chapter, we could say, problem. I had an important meeting, but my Wi-Fi died and I mixed up the time. Extra detail. I was stressed, my phone battery was low, and the client was already waiting. And then the fix. I used my phone as a hotspot, I joined late, and I just said sorry and continued.
Yes, exactly. Small story, clear steps, and we do not need to be perfect. So Alex, it is your turn. Do you have a little fail story?
Oh, I have many. Let me choose one. Okay, I will tell you about the time I sent a message to the wrong group chat. It is a classic problem, but it still hurts a little.
Yes, the wrong chat problem. I think almost everyone has done that. Go on, tell us.
So, I was in a work group chat with my team, and I was also in a family group chat. Same app, similar names. One morning, I was a bit tired and also in a rush. I wanted to send a message to my friend, complaining a little about a long, boring meeting we had the day before.
I can feel the danger already.
Yeah, so I wrote something like, that meeting yesterday was so long I thought I would fall asleep. Nothing terrible, but still not very professional. I thought I sent it to my friend, but actually I sent it to the full work chat, including my manager.
Ouch! And when did you realize?
About 3 seconds later, I saw the name of the group and my stomach just dropped. My face got hot. I felt really stupid and a bit scared. I thought, okay, that is it. Everybody will think I am lazy or negative.
Yeah, that heavy feeling. So what did you do in that moment?
So my quick solution was, I answered my own message. I wrote, oops, sorry everyone, wrong chat, but thank you again for organizing the meeting. I tried to show that, okay, I made a mistake, but I still respect the people. And then I made a little joke. I said, next time, I will drink more coffee first.
Nice save. To save face. By the way, that means to protect your image a little when you do something embarrassing. For example, you make a mistake and you quickly add a joke or an apology to save face.
Yeah, and people reacted quite kindly. Some colleagues wrote, do not worry, we all felt tired in that meeting. So it turned into a small shared joke instead of a big problem.
If I use our structure for your story, I would say it like this. Problem. I sent a negative message about a meeting to the wrong group chat at work. Extra detail. My manager and all my colleagues could see it, and I felt really embarrassed and nervous. I replied to my own message, I apologized, and I made a small joke. Very simple, very clear.
Yeah, your version is cleaner than mine. So, listeners, now it is your turn. I want you to think of one small, annoying thing that happened to you recently. Nothing big, just everyday life. Maybe you missed a bus. Maybe you burned dinner. Maybe you forgot your homework or an important document.
Take a second now. Just choose one little story in your mind. Something that was annoying or awkward or funny later. Got it? Okay.
Now, in your head or out loud if you can, try to tell the story using our simple structure. Problem, extra detail, fix. I will guide you. I will speak, then pause, so you can answer in your own words.
Remember, you do not need perfect grammar. Focus on the story. Focus on sounding human. It is totally okay to hesitate, to stop, to change your words.
All right. Step 1. The problem. Complete this sentence in your own way. Yesterday or recently, and then say the thing. For example, my bus, my laptop, my oven. Okay, ready? Here we go. Yesterday, my did not work, so your turn now.
Good. Just say one clear sentence. If you need to pause the podcast, that is fine. Now, step 2, add a little extra detail. How did you feel? What made it worse or more complicated?
Try this. I felt maybe stressed, annoyed, embarrassed, tired, and then add one more piece of information. For example, I felt embarrassed because everyone was waiting for me. Okay, I will start. I felt, and you finish the sentence. Ready? I felt.
Nice. And now, the fix. What was your quick solution, even if it was not perfect? Maybe you took a taxi, maybe you ordered food instead of cooking, maybe you asked a friend for help.
Try this last sentence with me. In the end, and say what you did. For example, in the end, I called my teacher and explained. Or, in the end, I restarted my computer and it was fine. Okay, your turn. In the end,
Great, you just told a real story about your real life in English. Maybe it was not perfect, but it was you. It was personal, and that is powerful.
Thank you for doing that with us. We know it can feel a bit strange talking to your phone or to your room, but this kind of practice makes your English more natural, more alive. We have talked about a lot of everyday problems and quick fixes today.
Yeah. So, in the next final part, let us quickly review the most useful phrases and ideas from this episode. And we will also encourage you to actually use them in real conversations.
Exactly. So stay with us for a short wrap-up, and we will highlight the key language you can take into your everyday life. So, we are coming to the end of this episode of the Natural English podcast. Thanks for staying with us all the way through. Today, we went on a little journey together, through lots of small, everyday problems.
Yeah. We listened to short stories about those tiny disasters in daily life, and we heard natural English for them. Then we practiced speaking step by step, and you also thought about your own little, fail stories.
And the big goal was pretty simple, to help you talk about small problems and explain what happened, and say how you fixed it, in clear, natural English. Not perfect English, just real friendly English.
Okay, so before we say goodbye, let's pull everything together. I want to give you a short, focused review of the key phrases. Not a big list, just the most useful groups.
Nice. Let's start with how to describe the problem itself. The first part of your story.
Right. When something goes wrong at the start of your day, you can say things like, "My alarm did not go off," or "I overslept." Then, often, we add the effect. For example, I was running late for work, or I was running late for class.
And with technology problems, we had a few very natural lines. You can say, my phone died, when the battery goes to 0, or the Wi-Fi went down, when the internet suddenly stops working.
Yeah, and for small accidents, those clumsy moments, you can say, I spilled coffee all over my shirt, or I dropped my keys down the stairs. Short, clear pictures of the problem.
So that is the problem part. Then we had a second group of phrases for your quick solution, how you fixed it.
Exactly. For transport problems, you can say, I just grabbed a taxi. That word grabbed is very natural. It means I quickly took one. For example, I missed the bus, so I just grabbed a taxi and I still arrived on time.
We also heard, I ended up working from home. That phrase, ended up, shows the final result, maybe after some stress or change. Like, the train stopped for an hour, so I ended up working from home.
And for tech issues, simple lines like, I borrowed a charger, or I reset the router. And for little accidents, I changed into a clean shirt, or I called my friend for help. All quick, small solutions.
The last group was about reacting to problems and comforting someone, those friendly seal phrases.
Yeah, things like, no worries, I have got it, and do not stress, and it happens, or it is not a big deal. These are really helpful when a friend is upset about something small and you want to calm them down.
And all of these appeared inside real mini stories in this episode, not just as a list, but in context, so you can mix them. For example, my alarm did not go off, so I was running late, but I just grabbed a taxi and it was fine. Or, the Wi-Fi went down, so I ended up working from home.
Yeah, you can really play with them. Take one problem phrase, connect it with one solution phrase, and you already have a nice mini story.
Sarah, I want to ask you something that maybe our listeners are thinking right now. If they remember only one strategy from this episode, just one, what should it be?
Okay, only one. I would say, use a simple 3-part structure. Problem, a little detail, and the quick fix. For example, my phone died on the train. I could not open my ticket, so I borrowed a charger from the person next to me.
So keep that 3-step shape in your mind. What went wrong? What extra detail you want to share? And how you solved it.
Yeah, and do not worry about perfect grammar or using big words. Focus on being clear and sounding friendly. If the other person understands your story and feels relaxed with you, then your English is doing a great job.
Before we close, I have a small reflection task for you. After you finish this podcast, take a few minutes and describe one small problem from this week and how you solved it.
You can write it down or record yourself speaking on your phone. Try to use at least 1 or 2 of the expressions from today. Maybe, my alarm did not go off, or I just grabbed a taxi, or it is not a big deal.
And if you want extra practice, you can also share that little story with a friend, a classmate, or your teacher. In English, real communication is the best teacher.
Yeah, totally. And if you feel shy, you can even tell the story only to yourself, in your head, while you walk, or while you wait for the bus. That still helps a lot.
Okay, I think this is a good place to end. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today, and for practicing your English with the Natural English podcast.
And remember, next time something small goes wrong in your day, try to tell the story in English in your head. Just a few sentences. That is really powerful practice.
We are cheering for you. Keep going. Keep noticing those tiny daily stories. And keep using your English. Thanks again for listening. And we will talk to you in another episode. Bye for now.